Hello, my name is Tim Silverline, VP of Security with Gluware, and I'm here today to talk to you about our new CyberArk Vault integration in Gluware 5.2. We created this capability to give our customers the ability to store and retrieve their passwords from inside of CyberArk Vault and take advantage of all the inherent security features that CyberArk offers, such as automatic password rotation. In this video, I'm going to walk through the initial integration configuration and setup, and then show you how you can change the device credentials to your devices inside of Gluware. I'm starting on the credentials page, which you can access by clicking on settings and credentials, because there are two different secrets that we need to store inside of Gluware to establish the connection to CyberArk. The way that we authenticate to CyberArk is through mutual TLS authentication, both client and server side, as well as a CyberArk password and username that gives us access to the different safes that the Gluware system needs to have access to. I'll start by adding a credential, and I'm going to add the private key for the TLS authentication. So let's call it CyberArk private key. Call it whatever you want, as long as you remember what it is. The source is going to be Gluware. The type is going to be Gluware system client key. And then just go ahead and paste that key in. And the key should be provided by your CyberArk administrator. It's created wherever you set up the different TLS settings. And so in our instance with our demo system, it's a CyberArk system running on Windows, and those TLS settings are configured within side of IIS. Okay, so we have the private key, and then let's add the password as well for the user authentication. So let's call this CyberArk connection password. Leave the source as Gluware, change this to Gluware system secret, and put in your password for authenticating to CyberArk. So now that we have our two secrets saved that we need to set up the authentication to CyberArk, let's go ahead and actually create a new vault. So settings, organization, vaults, add vault. Give it whatever name you want. We're just going to call it CyberArk in this example. You'll notice that vendor and tool name are grayed out right now. Today, the only third-party integration we have for vaults is with CyberArk. The rest of this information is going to come from your CyberArk instance. So again, your CyberArk administrator should probably provide it. You have a specific URL where the API endpoint sits, and then just the root CA for CyberArk certificate, as well as the client certificate that goes along with the key that we added in the first step. Here we're going to select that key that we saved already. Authentication method, we're going to leave it CyberArk, although we do support all four methods that CyberArk offers, which is CyberArk Windows, LDAP, and Radius. Give it the username of the user you're authenticating with, and then select that password that you saved in the previous step. There's a default app ID, and this is what's going to be sent along with every single request for a password. And again, it can be used similar to the username in ways that you can restrict or provide access to different credentials and safes inside of CyberArk. Once you have all the details set up, just go ahead and click Test Connection. That responded really quickly. I've seen in the past with some of my testing that this can take anywhere from 20 seconds up to a minute. So just be a little bit of patient in this step. So once you see the connection successful, you can click Create, and you create your vault. If you click back on Settings and Credentials, we can now add a credential that's being sourced from CyberArk here. Go ahead and click Add Credential. Let's call this one CyberArk Cisco, because it's going to be our Cisco password that's coming from CyberArk. Change the source now to CyberArk. Take a few seconds here to essentially query CyberArk, see what safes and credentials that we have access to. We'll leave it as device username and password because we're going to be authenticating to Cisco devices. We'll leave the app ID here again the same, although you can change it individually from the default you entered in the previous step. Query type, you have basic and advanced. So if you know CyberArk really well and there's some advanced queries you want to run, we do support that, but we're just going to do basic in this example. You can see that this user account I'm authenticating with has access to two different devices or two different safes right now. We'll just leave it on test, and then we'll pick a credential. In this case, we're going to do my Cisco user and click validate to make sure that we're able to access that credential. You can see valid shows up. So click create. Now we have a CyberArk Cisco credential that's coming and being sourced from CyberArk. And let's go back to device manager here and edit the device we have, change it from Gluware Cisco to CyberArk Cisco, click save, and go ahead and do a device discovery so we can validate that that credential is still working. Come and look at the activity screen here, take a few seconds to go. But that's really it. You came in, you created a set of credentials that we needed to authenticate to CyberArk. You went to create a new vault, and then you created a credential that's being sourced from that vault. You can see that it started here. It'll probably finish in a few seconds. But that's really it. So if there's any other questions that you have around CyberArk integration setup, please feel free to reach out to your support manager or your account manager. Device discovery is completed. And with that, I will conclude this video. Thank you for watching.